Welcome to Packets and Bolts podcast about technology, life, philosophy, and everything in between. It is Saturday, July 26th, 2025. There's your host Muskrat along with co-host Mongoose and Dubstench.
Hello.
Word.
Yeah. All right.
It's another year and another SysAdmin Day has come and passed. That's right, yesterday, Friday, was SysAdmin Day 2025. I know it's been a rough year as companies are tightening staff and pretending to use AI, so that means the people that are left have to do even more. Tonight, we commiserate with all the sysadmins out there. As usual, we'll sip some drinks, read some headlines, as well as listener emails. So join us tonight in raising a glass for all the hardworking sysadmins doing the needful behind the scenes. We always want to do that needful. Email the show, packetsandbolts@gmail.com, packetsandbolts@gmail.com. Join us Discord, follow us on Mastodon.
The thankless job.
It is, it's become thankless. Thankless?
Less thankless?
More thankless? Or
The amount of thankfulness has significantly decreased.
correct.
You know how this industry goes through these rubber band type
Yes.
things where they'll outsource
Yeah.
and then a couple years later they realize they're fucking dumb
Yeah.
and then they bring it back and then it just repeats. It's like a cycle. And we are on that stupid rubber band rebound where they're outsourcing everybody again. But
Yes.
they're outsourcing a lot of it to AI.
Yeah, supposedly. We'll talk a little about that. I'm going to have a Vienna lager.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm not waiting until the mid show.
Drinking a Moscow Mule myself.
Likewise.
Yeah, Moscow
And it's
mules.
delicious.
Moscow mules are good. I've decided to opt for the lighter option for now. Yeah, well, as we say, for those that have been in the industry for a while, this is nothing new. Just the reasoning changes every time this happens. So there's been a lot of announcements of layoffs, and they're saying AI is doing the jobs. Spoiler alert for those that are not aware, but AI is not doing what they say it's doing. So what they do is they want to act like they're laying off people while increasing productivity. They don't want to actually let people think that they're letting go of people because they A, overhired, or B, having financial problems, or C, both. There was a lot of overhiring. I'll admit that, right? There's always people increase their staffing and hire the wrong people, and they let some of those go during these times. But AI is the perfect excuse, so they can say, look, nothing's wrong with the company. We're just going to have AI doing all this stuff. Meanwhile, they're giving it to either offshore resources or just loading up their existing staff with more work. But for anyone out there that has been involved in outsourced IT work, usually that still means more work for the onshore, because the onshore has to fix the problems that the offshore can't do.
Yeah, absolutely.
AI support.
Yeah,
Because they suck. It's just frank.
It's not anything. When Mongoose says they suck, there are good offshore resources. The problem is those resources usually don't care about. They're usually not even actually like for anyone that knows how this works. Sometimes they'll hire people directly, but a lot of times they'll deal with these like companies, and they pretend like they're actually working for your company, but they're actually not. And for all you know, they're working like 2, 3, 4 other companies, but they're supposedly dedicated to you.
Well, and even if you have the offshore resources that are working for your company, and that's legit, they can't communicate well.
Sometimes, yes.
And I think communication is the basis of all problems, like bad communication.
True.
Nobody ever tried telling me that before.
All right, well, we'll talk more about that later, but let's get to this. Oh, this great one. Now, I don't necessarily believe the headline totally, but this is from tomshardware.com, but it's all over this mini stories. Just came out from July 22nd, I believe. 158-year-old company forced to close after ransomware attack precipitated by a single guest password. 700 jobs lost after hackers demand unpayable sum. Now, I kind of think the company might have been already about to fail.
Yeah, they're probably just using that for like an excuse because.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. But it is potentially possible. But what I don't like about this article, and Tom's Hardware is supposed to be more technical, a single user should never be able to destroy a company. So in other words, this person's creds were compromised somehow, and if their security was up to par, that would not allow them to take the whole company down. So I don't know if it's over privileged, the person had too much privilege. I don't know if there wasn't segmentation. I'm sure they had a boatload of security problems.
And I'm sure the business people for that company that are lamenting the closure are saying, man, if only we had cyber insurance. Because that's usually their fix, instead of actually doing it properly.
From a hacker's perspective, they're going to overtop their ransom or whatever. Well, then they're not going to get paid because the company's going to close down like that. So,
yeah,
there's probably like, we're not going to pay the rent. We got to close down. We can't afford it. Oh, we'll work on a payment plan with you.
Payment plan would be awesome.
We could lower our price for you.
The cyber insurance. What's funny about that is, for a while, yes, companies started to just buy cyber insurance instead of actually doing anything. Then the cyber insurance companies are like, whoa, we can't just keep paying everyone. So they're like, do you have immutable backups? Because we're not going to cover you anymore until you get those. And so when this started happening, which is what insurance companies actually are supposed to be, they're supposed to help you limit your risk, because otherwise they're going to be paying everyone for everything. Right. So when that started happening, I was working at this company, and like all of a sudden we had to like do just this massive cloud. We had to take all of our backups we had and shove them through the cloud. And of course, they didn't coordinate everything, so they were starving the internet connections, bringing everything down because the security guy was told that cyber insurance was gonna drop us. Like if I know some really close date, he was freaking out. Like, we need immutable backups. I'm like, and this wasn't on your radar for how long here? Oh, the laziness of managers, I tell you.
Well, it's good they're bringing people to heel and making them do
anything that can make them do stuff.
Can't they just use Windows Restore mode?
Yeah, right. Oh, geez. All right, speaking of AI not doing much, cybernews.com, in this case, I guess it did too much. AI coding tool wipes production database, fabricates 4,000 users, and lies to cover its tracks. Now, there's a big push when these companies are engaging AI to allow, and this is only one of another set of issues where the AI was used to hack a database. Companies are giving like full access to databases because they think, they need to do whatever the fuck we want them to do with the data, right?
Skynet.
Right, yeah. So instead of doing any type of secure what should the AI have access to or anything? They've done this. So in this case, the thing wiped the database, said it couldn't restore it, and then luckily for the company, they were able to restore it, but humans had to get involved because the AI had its head up its ass. But there was another situation where the AI had full access to the database, and people were able to, within the prompt, deliver commands. So they're able to inject the commands, right? And then they got the AI to dump the full database contents to the attacker.
Wait, so they were able to do like SQL select statements and stuff through the interface, like interfacing with the AI?
While prompting the AI, it was able to command the AI to give them the databases, and the AI obliged. And it just gave them a full output of the database. Yeah, dump.
SQL, delete star from star table.
Yeah, it was kind of like a prompt injection, right?
Yeah, and in this particular circumstance, though, weren't they using it for a non-prod database, but they had given it access to the prod database, and it was treating the production database like a non-prod? And because, let's face it, AI is not sentient.
No.
You at least give it like a mirror database to play with instead of your main bolts and stuff.
For this one, it's possible. Dev prod. So I claim that the Replit team worked around the weekend to deploy automatic DB dev prod separation to prevent this categorically. Wait, so they didn't have that, I guess. Okay, so what you were saying is they were able to get to both, or...
Sorry, it's just sad. I feel like...
Yep. So there you go, guys. If you just let AI let it rip. All right. TechCrunch.com. When is this one from? 2019, July 19th. Microsoft says it will no longer use engineers in China for Department of Defense work. Now, I thought...
Why were they in the first place?
I thought there were hard requirements when you're doing DoD type work for onshore. But, yeah.
Yeah, you can't be like living in the country that we're things are a little tense with.
How much do you want to bet they don't actually bring these jobs to American coworkers, but go to someone like Vietnam or India or
AI.
Yeah,
yeah.
This boggles my mind, honestly, because I've gone through government background checks to be able to support clients that they only allow U.S. citizens to pass
Correct.
background checks to support.
Correct.
And all our offshore people are not allowed to touch. Like, I don't understand how Microsoft can employ Chinese nationals for government accounts. Like, that
Yeah.
seems
I
like
guess they were doing it for a long time, and so long nobody really noticed or cared. And
But that's pretty bad. See how there's no oversight to how we spend how much money on defense contracts and the military industrial complex, and we don't even get like good results from it.
just give it to Microsoft. They got a hand on it.
Oh, jeez, Microsoft. Oh.
Make them dong.
All right. So did you hear? Did anyone hear this? This one's a creepy one. USA Today: police find nothing unusual in quotes, at scene of Annabelle doll handler's death. And this is from July 16th.
You were telling me about this earlier.
So
Yeah.
it's not the guy that owned the doll, but a guay that was handling it while it did the tour.
He was a ghost hunter, yeah. He was pretty well renowned, too.
Was observed in Riviera's hotel room at the time of the death. Police said that nothing unusual was observed. The case is pending autopsy results, according to the law enforcement agency, and I do not yet think there was an update on that, although I guess we should probably check that out. But when I saw, now I'm looking at this picture, and if this is the actual picture, I thought the Annabelle doll would be like beat up and stuff. It looks almost like pristine.
Yeah, it looks like a what do they call it? Like Raggedy Ann
Yeah.
and Andy
It
doll.
is.
Like,
It is
It
a
is,
Raggedy
yeah.
Ann doll. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it would be a
so
little
the
more beat up.
background, and they did a movie. It was the Conjuring movie franchise, but in
Yeah.
the 70s, a nursing student received the doll as a gift, and her roommate and her, they started experiencing occurrences, and it just got worse and worse. And they called in Ed and Lorraine Warren, who there's a lot of conjecture about whether they were legit or not, but they claimed that the doll was possessed by a demonic entity. So
how did that happen?
well, supposedly demonic entities will attach to sometimes, just objects.
Random inanimate objects?
Yeah. And so some people say, well, burn the doll. Well, the demon's just going to attach itself to something else. But the point is that this guy supposedly was in perfect health. He touched the doll, and then that night he died.
So wait, he had never touched it before?
No, it's in a secure case. It's
Sure.
not supposed to be touched. And that case
it's
is
blessed
full
or-
of crucifixes and crosses and
water.
religious. Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to encase the doll and keep the demon from affecting anybody, right? But he opened it up, he touched it, and then that night he
Dumbass.
So
died.
why did he open it?
I don't know.
Dun
don't know.
dun dun.
But now I think it's still on tour because it's normally housed at the Ed and Lorraine Warren Museum. And closely guarded, and they don't let people near it. But they took this thing on tour, and I guess after this guy died, I think it's still on tour, which is
Well, who's
crazy.
touring with it?
Just
Yeah, they're gonna have
people
to-
from that team,
Yeah, they're going to have someone else.
Wait, did Hulk Hogan have anything to do with this?
maybe.
Ozzy Osbourne? What's his name from the Cosby Show?
Theo Lamar.
Theo was the Cosby Show character.
Yeah. Lamar something Jackson or something. I don't.
Not
It's
Lamar
Theo.
Jackson.
It's Theo.
I can't remember. We could look that up pretty quick if we felt like it.
Maybe they'll tone the demon down and they dress the doll in one of the Cosby sweaters.
All right. Oh well, this is the story on the Superbase MCP can leak your entire SQL database. That was the one that the LLM got. But let's see what the next one is. All right, so citizenwatchreport.com. Epstein's dead, supposedly. So why is his bank account still moving millions? That's right. Epstein's secret bank account is still moving millions, and no one knows why.
Well, hold on. If it's a secret bank account, why is it publicly known about?
They were able to locate it. The New York Times reported that the bank had $693,157 in assets when Epstein died back in August, but received roughly $12.9 million in the months afterwards. The account was cleared out and left with just under $500,000 around the first of the year in 2024.
It's probably all from like online subscriptions like Netflix and stuff they forgot about.
So he's either alive.
I don't think he's dead.
Right. With the amount of time missing on the cameras.
And I also think that eventually we're going to get the Epstein list, and I think eventually when they do release it, it's going to be doctored.
Well, yeah, probably. I mean, they're going to take out anything they don't want, and who knows what's going to happen.
Probably nothing. This has been going on for so long, and nothing.
Well, it is. Yeah, I mean, it involves so many people that that's the sticky situation. It's just like the Whitewater case for anyone that remembers that. They investigated Clinton forever and came up with nothing other than Monica Lewinsky blowjob. The reason that they didn't do it, though, the reason that no one tells you, is Whitewater involved both Democrats and Republicans. So to bring down any one would have brought down the whole house of cards. So they kept it all quiet and just went after the blowjob scandal.
Yep, and this fits the bill. Yep.
All right, Vice.com. Could psilocybin, I think we've covered this a million times, but July 13th, could psilocybin be the secret to living longer? Scientists think so. So we know psilocybin can help with depression. It can help with headaches or migraines, to be precise, right? But now they've determined by some study on, I think, lab rats.
Conducted by Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, mice. So they've supposedly boosted the life of mice. So will Rodgers outlive many football quarterbacks because of the psilocybin? Just saying. I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers, 2042.
He's in Pittsburgh now, right?
He's a Steeler.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I haven't heard much about him in training camp, so that's interesting.
All right.
He's been showing up. He's been tripping too hard.
WSAW.com. Couple accused of having sex while driving a stolen RV intoxicated.
They're just going for it all, huh?
That's like let's see, sex, stolen RV, intoxicated. That's the trifecta. I think that's the triple crown right there. Bluefield, West Virginia. Bluefield, West Virginia. 2 people in West Virginia are facing several charges after an officer says he observed them having sex while driving a recreational vehicle. Now, how long was this officer watching the incident before deciding to go after them? The Bluefield police say the driver, Matthew McDonald, admitted to having sex with his female passenger, later identified as Shannon Bryant. The officer said the RV came back as stolen, and drug paraphernalia was also found in the vehicle during the traffic stop.
It's not my drug paraphernalia. This thing was stolen. It's the owner's.
Mm-hmm.
That's the defense, yeah.
Yeah. So they were driving while... So I'm trying to figure out, what was she sitting in his lap?
I'm assuming she was straddling him.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd probably be the most ergonomically viable while driving safely somewhat.
This doesn't seem like a really weird, like a newsworthy kind of...
I think it's the RV sex stolen. If it would have just been your own RV drunk sex, probably not much, right?
Well, they didn't say drunk. They said they found paraphernalia.
Well, okay, fine. Intoxicated. Some drugs they were on. I think if it wasn't stolen on top of everything, it probably wouldn't have made the news.
I don't know. I got to say, it sounds like a good time. So you can pull over.
Yeah. The American dream, just cruising the country.
That's right. Open road. All right. An open head, open road. MSN.com, the Pentagon disinformation that fueled America's UFO mythology. So they've decided to come out, and this is about a month ago, I guess, with yet another explanation, in quotes, on the whole UFO phenomenon. So now they're saying that basically everything you ever heard about UFOs was just them doing misinformation psyops to cover up their technology, which obviously, if you follow this phenomenon, goes back before our civilization. But the whole thing is bonkers. Obviously, some of them are technology. We know that. But to say that every single thing that anyone is witnessing is all just that? And isn't it mysterious when they were doing all these congressional hearings, but now it's just, hey, this is all just one big psyop. And then what? And let's say that this is all true. What does that say? That the government is just constantly, I mean, we kind of know this already on this show, but, and our listeners probably too, is just constantly feeding misinformation propaganda to the
Well, what about
American
those
people.
congressional hearings where that one guy, he was talking about different organic crew,
Yeah.
like what they plant those too?
Right. Correct. Yeah, no, the whole thing is insane.
Who knows?
Yep.
Yeah, I think they're just saying that because they're trying to make a power play. Like there's a whole lot of
stall.
power dynamics and geopolitics right now with China and Russia, and it's like, oh yeah, that wasn't alien technology. That was us all those years, like trying to puff out their chests or whatever.
Yeah,
But
that was us back in like the 1800s. Like, what are you talking about?
I wonder what Billy Meyer and who was our guest that one time?
Michael Horn.
Michael Horn. I
Yeah, we're
wonder-
going to have to reach out for comment.
Yeah.
All right. Livescience.com. Now, this has got to be one of the strangest things I've ever seen. This is an older story, and so it's surprising we didn't cover it before. It's multiple years old, but I just had to bring this up. Man gives himself semen injections to treat back pain, and unsurprisingly, it didn't work. So
I have a few questions.
just what are those questions?
Was it his own semen?
That's a good question.
Let's see here. His own, yes. He got a serious skin infection after injecting himself with his own semen.
Weird.
Intravenous.
I thought that was supposed to
Was
go
he
there.
shooting the semen into his blood in his bloodstream?
It really can't be good for you.
Good.
It also doesn't sound like he knows how to use the needle very well anyway. Like, always getting under his skin.
Oh.
He's not even getting it in the vein anyway.
I don't know, man.
Let's face it. Like semen isn't sterile. Because
Yeah, and I don't think
Even
you're
your
supposed to
own.
be
Even your own.
mainlining
even
that
your
shit.
own. I mean, it's pumping through the same vein that you're pissing out of, and you're going to shoot that shit directly into your bloodstream. And then where does he get the idea that this is going to solve his back pain? That's the most mysterious part.
That
of this.
is.
He read it in Mad Magazine.
Now, you mentioned urine, but urine is sterile unless you have a urinary tract infection
That's
when you
right.
first piss.
You get stung by a jellyfish. Piss on your jellyfish
Well,
sting.
yeah, I
and it goes
mean,
away.
there's worse things, but there's still going to be bacteria in it.
Not if you don't have an infection, actually. So that's all I'm saying.
I don't know about that.
Well, let's get some piss jugs gathered up
You
here.
still don't want to inject yourself with urine either.
Yeah, I won't be trying it. But I'll let others and then, write into the show and they can tell us how that went.
All right. So for all those worried about microplastics, this is something that's been making the rounds. The studies are from a while ago, but degradation of bisphenol A by Bacillus pumilus, isolated from kimchi, a traditionally fermented food. So theoretically, if you want to try to detox from all the microplastics we're getting all the time with this bisphenol A, if you get natural kimchi, so I can't guarantee any kimchi out there in a jar is naturally fermented. If it's got this Bacillus pumilus, then that could help to detoxify you from some of these compounds and microplastics. Just saying.
How will I know if I'm being affected by these compounds and microplastics?
I mean, everyone's getting low sperm count. All those things are happening lately. So I don't know, man. It's toxic.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking here?
Eat some kimchi.
No, I'm thinking like this is a money maker for somebody who's going to go and grow in a lab the
Yeah. You could just isolate that. You could
Bacillus
try
pumilus.
that. You could try that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, you release some new vitamin or like extract, whatever. It doesn't have to be FDA approved because nothing is these days.
That's right. You just start releasing supplements.
And it doesn't matter if it works or not. You can go and market that as, hey, microplastic detox. You're going to make a fortune.
We should get in the business of supplements.
We should. The packets and bullets. Well, here's the deal. In Dora County, there's a place called Cultured, and they make naturally fermented things, and they do sourdough too. But kimchi and
So
sauerkraut.
partner with them.
But I'm just saying, picking some of that stuff up ASAP.
Coming soon. Get your Back in the Bolts supplements pack. We got a pack for every lifestyle out there.
InfoWars did it. We can sell supplements. All right.
What were they selling? Ivermectin or something?
No,
something about lesbian frogs.
No, it was like weight loss and muscle gain or something. I don't know, man. Okay. Is it hothardware.com? The brain drain of ChatGPT, MIT study sounds cognitive decline alarm. And this is from June 21st. And basically, people that are, and I didn't even think this would happen, but I know humanity, I never put enough credit into the stupidity of humans. People are starting to use AI for so much that they're basically offloading all critical thinking to the AI that they ask. And people that do that, they have recorded cognitive declines. So the study, to achieve the study's goals, the research team divided 54 respondents into three main groups. A group that used ChatGPT to write essays, another group that depended on information from search engines for the essays, and a final group that simply wrote essays from memory. As respondents wrote the essays, researchers used electroencephalography, a device that records the brain waves, to measure brain activity. After the essays were written, the researchers analyzed them and assigned scores using human and AI judges, which is kind of hilarious. But the results were not surprising. Participants, depending on AI tools, showed the weakest level of brain connectivity, while respondents who wrote from memory exhibited the strongest. It's still worth noting that participants who used search engines displayed moderate brain connectivity.
What about, they should have users who had to research through an encyclopedia or something like that.
Like a physical books.
Or going to the library and using the microfiche.
Yes. Well, that would probably be the highest brain connectivity.
I mean, the best place to see this play out is go on X, or Twitter, as it used to be called. And their AI engine is Grok.
Yes.
And it's a piece of shit. Even with their new Grok offering, I guess they just upped the model. It's like Grok 4 or some shit now. I don't know. But people if there's ever a claim or a news story, there's so many people that are like, Grok, is this true? And then Grok spits out a bunch of bullshit that's not even accurate remotely most of the time.
That's why you got to give these AI models, you got to give them paradoxes to play with and see if you can break them. Because people broke ChatGPT 4.0 with paradoxes.
That's awesome.
They can throw it in error.
People think that AI isn't fallible, and it's wrong more often than not these days.
Yeah, it's getting worse. They've also determined that it's like a slot machine effect. People think that if they just put the right prompt in, they'll get the exact thing they want. And because in the beginning, a lot of times when you first start using these tools, they throw you better results. So then they start to lower it because they want to lessen their compute and everything, right? And they've also determined that to make it more accurate, the computing resources would grow exponentially. So basically, if you want 100% accuracy, it would be infinite computing, which is not possible.
What?
Now there is an answer to some of this, but it would be limiting the how they do LLMs. So expert systems have been around since the 60s, 70s, whatever. And those are more tailored to the industry you're working in. And they have more conditional statements to try to rein in what can be done, right? More static parameters. But they don't want to do that. They want this to be an open-ended thing. So with the way they've set it all up, it's just nearly impossible to make it meaningfully, 90+% accurate all the time.
Well, ChatGPT has the 4.5 model, and that's their deep research release, I guess. It's on par with 4.0, but 4.5 is a deeper, and there's more compute. I'm assuming that on the back end there's more compute involved, which is probably why they limit your number of questions.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a paid user, you're still only permitted 5 to 10 questions a day.
Yeah,
so
I keep running the limit with the picture thing.
So I think that's one method they're using to curb CPU overutilization, or to make sure it's tenable. But it's interesting too. There was one day that I read something on Twitter, X, whatever, and somebody asked Grok about it was ancient Rome and their use of certain animals from Africa and the Far East in the Colosseum games. And Grok was like, no, this didn't happen. So I was skeptical, and I took that same question to ChatGPT 4.0 and I asked it. And I ran this through several times, but I was able to get, directed to primary sources that indicated that, it wasn't widespread, but there were instances where in some of the coliseums, and again, there was the Coliseum, and then there was there were other ones across the territories, but there were exotic animals that made appearances, and Grok was like, no, this never happened, no matter how much I tried to argue with it. So there's a great disparity between these different engines, and as much as Elon Musk says that Grok is superior, it's not. It's a piece of shit.
You're basically just talking like somebody else who goes and reads different stuff on the internet and tells you that oh no, I read this is right, you're wrong, and I read this article and this one says I'm right and you're wrong. So it's like another person, but they're not going to get mad at you or beat you up if you disagree.
Right. All right, rstechnica.com, June 26th. VMware perpetual license holder receives audit letter from Broadcom after sending cease and desist letters to VMware users whose support contracts had expired and who subsequently declined to subscribe to one of Broadcom's VMware bundles. Broadcom has started the process of conducting audits on former VMware customers. Now, remember they had perpetual licenses and they did not go to the subscription model. So you would think they're under the terms of the
grandfather clause.
Broadcom stopped selling VMware perpetual licenses in November 2023 in favor of pushing a small number of VMware SKUs that feature multiple VMware offerings. Since Broadcom is forcefully bundling VMware products, basically they put every feature into it now. You can't cherry pick as much as you used to, so now it costs even more. The costs associated with running VMware have skyrocketed, and with customers frequently citing 300% price hikes, and some firms claiming even larger increases. As a result, some VMware users have opted to keep using VMware perpetual licenses, even though Broadcom refuses to renew most of those client support services. This year, Broadcom started sending such VMware users cease and desist letters telling organizations to stop using any maintenance release updates, minor fixes, major releases, upgrades, extensions, enhancements, patches, bug fixes, or security patches, except for zero-day security patches that VMware issued since the user's support contract ended. The letter also warned of potential audits, which appear to be underway now.
So the perpetual licensing doesn't mean anything anymore.
Well, that's part of it. But also, I guess they had a site and people were able to get the patches and stuff for their versions. And VMware was getting pissed, but they had it was available. People could just grab it. So now VMware was starting to lock it down, but I guess they probably weren't aware of this site that they had. So they got pissed because they were getting patched.
Well, you can't do that. There's got to be legal ramifications for that, because you have to from a security standpoint, you still have to support your software
until it's end of life. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you have a perpetual license,
you can use it perpetually. The support, though, when the support ends officially, I think these are still support versions.
That's why you always want to read that end user agreement when you start installing software. That's 80 pages long. Read it thoroughly, understand
Well, Broadcom's such a bad company. I
can't believe they're even still around. Or they partnered with Gateway 2000.
Well, they keep buying all these good companies that people like. Yeah, it's bad. All right.
The devil.
Yeah. So this, if anyone hasn't heard this, the hackernews.com, but it's all over the place. Critical Cisco ICE auth bypass flaw impacts cloud deployments on AWS, Azure, OCI. Now, this was like a 9.9 out of 10, but didn't they have another one, or is it the same one that got upgraded? They had a 10 criticality.
I thought that was a 10.
Okay, this one, at least in this article, is saying 9.9.
They had a few bundled.
That's right. That's what I was wondering. So there was one that lets you do remote code execution as root, I believe, right? Unauthenticated.
That was the one that was 10 out of 10, I thought.
Yeah, unauthenticated. Yeah, and that was for 3.3. Is that right?
You do an API.
You had to be running 3.3 patch 6 or below on 3.3 or 3.4 patch 1 or below. If you were running 3.2 or anything less, you were fine. Now, where I'm at, we have 2 ICE deployments. We split up Radius and TACX, and I did upgrade. So our TACX environment was on 3.3. I did patch that same night that you sent that over to me. But I think the critical one was a Radius blast vulnerability. So it probably wouldn't have even applied, but just to play it safe, I patched it anyway. Because hot fixes in ICE are so easy. Like you click a button, you walk away.
Yeah.
Boom. And I've never had one fail. I mean, they can fail,
but
I've never had one fail.
Well, I know your experience with ICE.
I had a couple issues, but I don't remember. I don't remember which was which, but one of them, it was supposed to do the upgrade of the high availability, but then it just stopped. It only did one. And then I was able to just go in and manually tell it to do it, and then it did it. So I was like, okay, good. I don't have to call Cisco. But one of them, I had to get the Cisco team, and I don't remember what was happening. Was this a major version? I don't remember. They had to come in and do something in the database to fix it. And it's getting harder to find tech people that can actually do this kind of deep dive stuff, and it's
yeah, and it's right there in the documentation, do not fuck with the database yourself, call TAC. But yeah, I've done some database cleanup with TAC before in ICE, and they're reading their notes and they're consulting with their peers. It's not something to do every day, and it's not something to be taken lightly.
Yeah, it's bad. All right, VT.co, U.S. Sprinter, and this is from June 25th. 2025. U.S. Sprinter suffers horrific wardrobe malfunction as manhood falls out of shorts during
the
race.
male version of a nip slip.
Yeah,
it happens, man. You're gonna have everybody on TV televised. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
What's horrific about it? Horrific wardrobe malfunction. Okay, so his junk fell out.
Wayne came out. Is a what?
Yeah. Okay, it sucks, but
yeah, I'm sure he doesn't care. It's better than those runners that shit their pants when they're doing marathons.
What?
And just, yeah,
you never seen that?
I know we covered that on the show too. This is years ago, but yeah, when long distance runners, they'll just start shitting themselves, but they keep running because they won't stop for anything.
Aren't they allowed to pull off and kind of take a break like a NASCAR driver or something?
Well, they could, but then they lose the race, man. It's dude, if you've been training, for this big event for months and months or even years, and you start shitting yourself on the course, you just fucking keep running.
And they got those things for astronauts, like.
You're not going to wear that while you're running a marathon.
I suppose it's not aerodynamic. It's
also going to be hot as hell.
Just imagine that you're running I don't know, the Chicago Marathon or something, and you got these Nigerians that are shitting out their ass, and they're slicking up the roadway, and then you fucking slip and fall on it.
Oh, that's a great way to win. It's like Mario Kart. You just have to put banana peels on the track. You start throwing.
Yeah, they need to release a real-life version of Mario Kart where instead of bananas, you're just shitting all over the roadway. That's what they need to do.
They should have that.
Here's an ass blast coming your way.
They should make a Wario Kart where that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah. Switch 2, it's coming.
Patent pending. We're on it.
All right, this is thehackernews.com. Now, I heard an update to this, but I don't think it's in the site. This is from June 25th. Citrix Bleed 2 flaw enables token theft. SAP GUI flaws risk sensitive data exposure. So the cybersecurity researchers have detailed 2 now patched security flaws in SAP graphical user interface for Windows and Java that, if successfully exploited, could have enabled attackers to access sensitive information under certain conditions. The vulnerabilities tracked in the various CVEs, which we're not going to give the numbers to, were patched by SAP as part of monthly updates for January 2025. The researchers discovered that SAP GUI input history is stored insecurely both in Java and Windows versions. Pathlock researcher Jonathan Strauss said in a report shared with the Hacker News. So now this was, I think, downplayed because if the management interface, I believe, was not exposed to the internet, everyone thought they were safe. So what I had heard in a different location that I don't think I have on our page here, I believe the businesses just didn't patch it because they're like, well, it's not as bad as we thought. And then it was leaving a bunch of vulnerable Citrix instances. So this is just another example of if you've got these critical bugs, even if you're not specifically at high risk, don't just sit on the patches, right? Like you should still plan to patch them. It might not be as urgent as if you were, directly on the public internet and all this other stuff, but you gotta like plan for patching. It doesn't matter if you're technically only hackable from malicious person, and there's malicious people on the inside as well. But
no, there's not.
By accident or by meaningfulness. All right.
I gotta say, it's interesting that I see that Citrix Bleed 2 was codenamed by Kevin Beaumont. He's a British, InfoSec professional. He's been around for years. Like, if you're not following him, like, look into him because, like, he's super good. He was involved with that WannaCry stuff years ago.
Oh yeah.
I think Marcus Hutchins was the guy that found the kill switch or whatever. I don't know what
he was
happened
able
to him.
to. Yeah,
he runs in the same communities as Kevin Beaumont. I think Kevin Beaumont used to have like a code name or a screen name or something as Gaussy the dog, but
really?
He's like really interesting. He's really into this stuff, and he's always finding vulnerabilities and things.
All right. Newsweek.com. Part of me just can't believe this. This is older too, but we just had to cover it. Women had organ removed after not farting in front of boyfriend for years. Now, it's on Newsweek, so I would hope they would do their research here. But Irish barista Cara Clark, 19, reportedly. Now, it does say reportedly, so maybe they didn't even verify the story. Had to get her appendix removed in the past week after 2 full years of holding in farts around boyfriend, Kyle Duffy, 21. So anyways, don't hold in your farts.
It's not healthy.
But are they sure the appendicitis was related to the fart holding?
That's the thing. I don't know. So at the hospital, this is like her quote.
That's a squeaker.
This is her quote. At the hospital, I started blaming my boyfriend because I do always hold my farts in around him.
Well, that's the first mistake. Give him a Dutch oven one day.
We've been together for 2 years, and it's still the case. He honestly didn't know what to say. He said, God, people are going to think you're afraid of everything with me. I don't know. This sounds like a dysfunctional relationship.
Put yourself in that guy's shoes. Like, it's his fault that she decided not to fart around.
Yeah, you go ahead and beef one. You go into the room if you want it, but like, don't bottle up and get a log jam on my account. Jesus.
All right, I think this is the last one here. WSAW.com again. June 19th, man allegedly admitted to killing neighbors at nudist resort over a hot dog. Detective testifies. This guy's mugshot.
Was there some confusion over what was a hot dog and what wasn't?
This is fucking nuts.
The man who was accused of killing a couple at a nudist resort reportedly did so over a hot dog, according to local reports. Michael Royce Sparks, 62, was charged in September with 2 counts of murder with special circumstances. That's weird. In the deaths of Stephanie Menard, 73, and her husband, Daniel Menard, 79. The couple had been reported missing in the desert community of Redlands and were last seen at home August 24th, 2024. They lived in Olive Del Ranch, which is described on its website as a residential RV park and nudist resort. Mm-hmm. Officials said they found the couple's remains in bags in a concrete bunker underneath Sparks' home. According to the Press Enterprise, in a court hearing Monday, a detective testified that Sparks admitted to another inmate that he killed his neighbors. He allegedly said the final straw was over a hot dog.
So let me just say, like, the headline on this is they could have done better. Area dick convicted over weeder dispute.
Could.
I mean, come on.
For sure.
The headlines are not what they used to be.
Yeah, they need to work harder on that. That's the eye candy. That's what pulls you in.
Redlands police detective Thomas Williams testified that Sparks told the other inmate that Daniel Menard had given him a hot dog, which he felt was a jab at him. He said Mr. Sparks felt that the hot dog was a jab at him, making him feel like he was worth only $1 hot dog, and that's why. And that's what set him off that day, the detective said according to the Press Enterprise. Now, it gets worse. It gets darker. Okay? You think that's bad. I mean, some would say that's
Talk
worse.
about relish.
Some would say that's worse than what I'm about to say. But it just shows the vindictiveness of this guy. Sparks is accused of brutally beating the couple with a rake, a hoe, and a hammer. He also reportedly admitted to drowning the Menards dogs, Cuddles, in a sink, Williams testified. Around the time of the murders, another neighbor told KABC that Sparks and the Menards had a long history of tension, which started over a trimmed tree.
So that all happened because this guy took offense to receiving a hot dog.
After the tree incident, which
whatever
the
that was.
neighbor said there was a tree that Sparks wouldn't trim. So the Menards did. That started a feud that lasted more than a decade. I didn't think he'd ever be able to do something like this, Tammy Wilkerson told KABC. I know he didn't like them, and he didn't have a problem telling people that, but I never thought he'd do this. Don't give people hot dogs, especially if you're mad at them, I guess.
Wow, that's fucking weird.
Yeah, I don't know where to even where to start with that. It's like the Hatfields and McCoys, but like more recent and short-lived, but more hilarious.
Very weird and dark. Why do you have to take the dog out?
Why would they give him a hot dog?
Well, I mean, it's
he could have just been like, "Hey, you want a hot dog?" And then the guy's like,
"Well, it's a nudist colony too, so like there may have been some other comments."
It's probably a tiny fucking little
smoky,
little smokies. Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Maybe that's how they invited people to the threesomes. Like, hey, you want a hot dog?
Or maybe he was giving out hot dogs to everybody else, and then he's like, "For you, I got one just for you." Yeah, it was a little smoky, on a cracker.
I don't know. It had to be something big because it sent him over the fucking.
This guy might have just been nuts, so that anything would have tripped him off.
Yeah, the slightest breeze, he might have gone bonkers. Who knows?
Well, this guy looks pretty nuts, but well, that's the headlines for Saturday, July 26, 2025.
Solid group.
Yeah, we'll be back after this. If I can find the right. There we go. We'll be back after this short break.
Hank Carlson here, proprietor of Baked Beans and Books and Furries Wear Boots. Did you ever wonder how many bites it would take to get to the bottom of a giant vat of baked beans? Well, I tried it once, but all the beans kept collapsing in on the hole I was making. I ate the whole vat. Stop on down to Baked Beans and Books to get yourself a heaping handful of baked beans and peruse the selection of books. While you're at it, stop at Furries Wear Boots. 11111 State Street, Madison, Wisconsin. Baked Beans and Books. When books just aren't enough.
All right, and we are back. It is Saturday, July 26th, 2025. It is Packets and Bolts email show, packetsandbolts@gmail.com, packetsandbolts@gmail.com.
We got any emails?
We do have emails. Let's get that going here. Hold on.
Oh, that was a very violent attachment.
We also missed a couple stories. We'll glance over them. All right, so back to our drinking topic. I'm back on this Vienna lager. Oh wait, yeah, it's a Vienna lager. That's what it is. And then you guys have the Moscow Mule. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That's right.
All right.
In the copper mugs.
Official.
Hear that, Kappa?
Yeah. It should be copper. Why do you keep muting me?
Technical difficulties. All right.
Mutiny.
All right, here. Let's see here. We have July 26th. We've got someone wrote. Let me just turn that down a little bit. Someone wrote email I'm going to have to follow up on. So if you're hearing this now, sorry about that. But someone wrote us about floss advocacy. It's like free open source, but Libre. And they want to talk about corporatization of open source, which is a problem. And they're willing to discuss it, so we'll need to follow up with them. And then Zebra writes, Zebra What do you make, and we already discussed this, but what do you make of the government saying that all alien sightings were government psyops to cover up other programs?
I say, what are these other programs?
Well, they're saying like the B-1 bomber, or wait, what was it? The stealth bomber, or whatever it's called.
Oh, so like from the 80s?
Well, that's one of them as they're saying. I don't know, man. I still think it's all bullshit.
Yeah, it sounds like a limp dick excuse to me.
I say we'll never know one way or another. Like,
No, that's true.
there's layers upon layers of misinformation, disinformation, and I don't know.
It's a tightly woven tapestry.
I mean, if there were aliens, like, you know, wouldn't it behoove them to say, like, if they wanted to keep covering up, to say that, oh, like all these years it was just,
Yeah.
you know,
If I were an alien trying to cover up my invasion, that's exactly what I would say. So maybe this information is coming directly from aliens who are implanted in our
That's true.
government in charge.
The lizard people.
Ooh.
So, do you remember that that strange-shaped asteroid? It was like,
Umanga or what?
yeah,
that
that one.
Uma.
That one that was like somersaulting.
So the guy that was outspoken about that has just, this came out in the news the other day. He said that he believes that we are on the verge of a November alien attack.
So
Dun,
I feel like we've talked about
The fake
for
alien invasion.
sure in alien attacks coming up several times on the show.
Well, that's their last card to
Well,
play.
this guy was outspoken about the mana, blah, blah, blah.
But that thing left the solar system. It hit the
Yeah,
around sun and it's
it
out.
flew by, but now he's saying that there's evidence of another alien type entity that is turning toward Earth, and it's on a vector to attack Earth in November.
So what is it? A craft? It's on a big weird looking asteroid. They think people are stuck on. Like what,
I don't know. I mean, apparently,
Planet X.
I'm not
I
clear
review.
on this. Like, my limited look into this, it sounds like he was trying to get like other scientists to like review his work, because they kept bringing up peer-reviewed journals, but it's not peer-reviewed. Okay, like there's no substantive basis for like what he's saying.
Speculative. It's all speculative.
Yeah,
Oh.
but maybe we get attacked in November.
Maybe.
So start arming yourselves.
So real attack or fake alien invasion. If it is the fake alien invasion, that's the last card they can play. That's the last card. So that after that, then it's all perpetual alien war forever.
One world order,
Yeah, basically.
just like Reagan speculated.
That's right. All right. Y writes, and yes, it's spelled Y, W-H-Y. What do you make of the SMOC becoming more salty? And I guess we should have covered that, because if anyone is not aware of that, you're familiar with the AMOC, right? The big current that flows from the equator to the European. And this is the SMOC. This is the southern hemisphere. And they've discovered recently that it is becoming a change in the Southern Ocean structure can have climate implications, but they're not sure. And this is kind of a surprise to a lot of people, but basically the water is becoming saltier. And I'm not going to go into all the details.
So like the SG is like definitely like specific gravity is definitely changing.
Yeah, but and it was a surprise because if ice is melting, it usually would make the water
Go down.
fresher.
Yeah, go
and in
down.
the northern hemisphere, one of the theories on the last ice age is the AMOC stopped flowing because of the current got disrupted, and that's what caused the last ice age, and that Europe became glaciers, and North America, etc. So they were surprised to find out the water is becoming saltier, more saline in the southern hemisphere. And like I said, we're not going to be able to go into the details on this right today, but it is weird. And I don't know if that's just more warning of what's coming. Maybe it's all impending doom for November.
Or maybe it's a completely natural thing that happens every once in a while.
Well, yeah, I mean, it might be. Never know. It might be. All right, so that was the emails. Email the show, packetsandbolts@gmail.com. Packetsandbolts@gmail.com. All right. Well, it's come to that time. It is yet again SysAdmin Day. I mean, yesterday was SysAdmin Day. I hope you guys all celebrate SysAdmin Day. Let's be honest. How many people celebrate SysAdmin Day?
Oh, I celebrated hard.
Well, Thursday was National Tequila Day, so I celebrated that, and I had a margarita yesterday. I had 2 margaritas yesterday, so that's why. So I hope you guys celebrated. But the annual airing of grievances in the tech industry, Mongoose and Dubstench. How has your year gone? This is like our Christmas or New Year's Eve.
I didn't get a gift.
I feel like we do SysAdmin Day podcast like every other month.
Has it been a year already?
Yeah, it goes so fast.
Maybe time flies. I don't know. But yeah, what was? No,
how was your year? How was your work?
What do you have to complain about?
Okay,
well, pick one thing.
I'll say, like, I hate getting when you work a fully remote job and then your job like decides like you need to travel a lot. Like, that's bullshit.
Have you been being deployed on site for stuff? Or?
Yeah, I did a remote deployment for like a major site renovation where they decided to deploy VXLAN at the remote site, which still makes no fucking sense to me why they're doing that.
Have they leveraged it yet? Have they utilized it?
No, and like the site's been actually having more problems now ever since we covered that architecture. But like, anyway, like that fucking trip destroyed me.
You haven't recovered from that.
And I've gotten back. Yeah, I think I have recovered, but it took a long fucking time. I was out there in April, and it took me like what? Now what's it? Now July. It took me almost 3 months to get back to where like I wasn't just so pissed at my job.
And that was 1 week.
Like I got back from that trip and I refreshed my LinkedIn. I started like getting my resume together. I'm like, man, I got to get a new job.
And that was 1 week.
It was 1 week, but it was 16, 17 hours a day for 7 days. Wow. And it was like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. You know, you're sleeping from like 7 a.m. to like noon.
Wow.
And people are slamming doors because everybody else is like starting their day around that time and you're trying to just go to bed. So I was popping melatonin, but man, that was brutal. I hated that trip.
Yeah.
So now they've been bringing up more travel. I'm like, no, I'm fucking done for the year. And if you don't like it, well, you know what to do.
Yeah, this job was sold to me as a remote job.
Now what's weird about that is you had a entry-level person that was supposed to do a lot of the cabling before you got there, right? But they didn't do it.
Yeah, they actually made things worse.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than being... So, you know, for those that are not in the industry, or let's say you're newer, for people that are experienced in the industry, it's not typical that you'll do all the rack and stack and everything. And we can do it, but it's kind of a waste of a senior level resource, right?
Analyst job.
Yeah, it's an analyst job. It's you know, it's someone that needs to get their feet wet, and also they learn a lot from that. Now, you should be shepherded by someone that's experienced, or at least a mid-level, but it's a waste of someone that is a senior level to go in there and do all of the physical work. And when I was doing consulting, I would flat out tell customers, yeah, I'm not doing any, you guys need to do that or get someone to do that, because I'm not going to be able to go down there and take, a day or sometimes could be 2 days of messing around in a data center. I've got other projects I'm working on that are not you, and I'm scheduling the maintenance to do the actual work on this day. And so I don't know who you're going to have do that, but I can walk them through what needs to happen. And so that's crazy that you had to get in there and fix all that.
Yeah, I think the bare minimum we expected that guy to do was, I think we had 4 IDFs and then the MDF. So we had, four? I think we were looking at 20 devices to get racked, and he was out there for 4 days. And he didn't get it.
That's awesome.
He racked shit, but he did it all wrong, so we had to unrack shit. It's just a lot of rework. It was fucking bullshit.
So bad. Oh, it's so bad.
But the guy's like a 60-something-year-old CCIE, and
he wasn't entry level.
No, well, he's a CCIE, but he's entry level.
Entry level CCIE.
Entry level at your place.
This just echoes my belief that certification is being jack shit.
I mean, they can.
I've run into so many people that are certified with good certifications that don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I just don't even fucking care about certifications anymore, because I'm like, if you guys are gonna suck that bad with all these what's the fucking point?
Yeah, experience.
Unless the job's you have to have one, I'm not gonna fucking give a shit.
Yeah. No, it's tough. Yeah, there are a lot of morons with certs and without, and there's good people with and without certs. There's no rhyme or reason.
Yep.
That's because we're not in a profession. We're like professional. I don't know, garbage floor moppers, janitors.
Chief cook and bottle washer.
Chief cook and bottle washer. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, that's basically it. Like at some point, you start to realize that all you're doing is cleaning up everyone else's mistakes.
Other duties as defined.
Or doing so many things that you can't really keep track of anything. Like at the place I'm at right now, I can't even. There's so many things that we shouldn't be in charge of that we are. That there's no way we can do any of them like well. And so it's just kind of like not trying to drop one of the things you're juggling, one of the pins.
Stack of plates to try not to knock over.
Yeah, that's about it.
I think the majority of IT work these days is trying to get other teams to do your work for you.
Yeah, the work to prove it's not your problem.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's funny because when I started a position, I got in there and I took it as like some sort of architect level, right? And even though the job title was really weird and nebulous, like, whenever you get these weird nebulous job titles, like, oh no, this is not, what did I do? So I was supposed to be an architect level, but the job title was just not referencing. And so, okay, whatever. So then all of a sudden, random people started like emailing me saying, oh yeah, I'm supposed to hand this off to you. And what's funny is they would say stupid shit like, my boss wants me to step away from this and get over, and like thinking to myself, your boss isn't my boss. So wouldn't the logical thing be that your boss talks to my boss? And I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm not just taking this from you.
I'll wait to hear this from my boss. I mean, thanks for the heads up, I guess, but this ain't budging until I hear it from my superior.
Oh, you're trying to make me a dotted line, huh? Did you talk to my boss about that?
Yeah, that's like the weirdest thing. Like,
there's too many dotted lines in IT these days.
Several people were like, yeah, we're supposed to get rid of this task and you're going to do these. I'm like, So then they started stacking up and I'm like, there's no way one person can do all these things. So what is the plan here? Yeah.
And what's interesting is with this dotted line shit, it's like at my company, my boss got fired a few weeks ago, and now I report to her boss. Okay, so everything's been rolling there. He doesn't have the time for shit. He doesn't want to deal with any grief. Okay, so he's not a middle manager. He was a director position.
Oh boy.
And so now I'm in this position where these people come and they're like, "We need you to do this," and it's like, it's out of process, but if you don't do it, it's going to get to the boss, and he's going to be like, "Why didn't you do that?"
Yeah, I don't want to.
But if you do it, and then it's going to come up in a team meeting, and then he's going to be like, "Why did you do that?" You know what I mean? Like, you're in a rock and a hard place because people don't know how to manage people anymore.
That's why we got to talk to whoever your superior is and be like, "Hey, I'm being asked to do this. You tell me yes or no. Like, I really don't have capacity, or I do, or you pick 3 of these 10 things you want done today, but they ain't all getting done today. You pick, and I'll do whatever you say."
Yeah, I just basically ignore people when they'll I'm me during the day and they're like, "We need you to do this." I just ignore it.
Yeah, that's the no answer.
Eventually,
is the best answer.
What are they going to do? They're eventually going to go through the proper channels, and then somebody else is going to assign to it, and I won't.
I get it all the time. Oh, can you do this really quick? I'm like, you got to submit a project. Yeah, but you already did this other one for us. That's just the same. And I'm sick of this whining. Boom, 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 done. But then you're training these people to not follow the process. And, if I just go and ask this guy, like, he'll just do it for me. If I bother him enough, he'll just get annoyed and make me to shut up.
Ugh.
Yeah, I started a Genesis from a networking perspective, but they needed a network person to help with this. But we started migrating all our voice to Genesis Cloud, right? 3 years ago. They spun up a project. I got assigned to it. But now 3 years later, they're still spinning up new projects. But because there was this overarching Genesis project, they just invite me to these meetings. And finally, I'm like, it's 3 years later. Open up a new project request because they need to track my time to know what I'm working on. And you can't just keep, like, umbrellaing this shit and, like, spinning me up in all these projects. And, like, meanwhile, like, my boss has no idea what I'm working on. He's like, Mongoose doesn't have jack shit to do, like, I'm like, open a new project request. Like, come on.
Yeah, they lose. Oh,
because
they
all these
loosely tie
little
this
things
in.
are basically new projects. It's like spin a fucking, fill out these 3 fields in this form. That's all you got to do, PM.
Yeah, like what's kind of related is like no. Like they don't even allow like language just loose in a gym membership. Not like especially like a project charter. You follow the process, put it out there.
Projects. So you have a 3-year-old open project? Is it what?
Yeah, it's just this umbrella of shit. I've done so much work, and the first couple of years, I would just blindly join meetings and do all this work under this umbrella.
Yeah.
But then there was a hiatus, and now they're spinning up all these other projects, and they keep inviting me to meetings, and that's not visible. Like I don't have metrics for that.
Oh.
And they're tracking this shit, right? Like
Well, metrics. You're design your Outlook calendar. Like here's what I was doing. This is hour. Like look this meeting invite I was on.
But my boss, they're tracking what people are doing, and they're firing people that are,
yeah.
So it's like, dude, I need to have this fucking tracked. So open up a project, or else I'm not coming to your fucking meeting.
Yeah.
Right.
And I won't be around to help you in the future because they'll shit can me because I was doing freebies for you.
Yeah, I took Friday off on SysAdmin Day. Like,
Me too.
The fucking PM invited me to a meeting. I'm like, oh, I decided to take PTO. I'm not joining your meeting. P.S. Fill out the fucking form. I literally did that.
I like to decline the meetings, but then suggest a different time.
Decline, but at a different time. Well, it's funny when they purposely schedule you over other crap, and it's like, do you not look at the calendar before you send the invite?
That's when you go to your manager and be like, which one do you want me to go to? Which is more important?
And I always tell them, too, it's like, my calendar is updated. Go pick a time.
Yeah, right. Oh,
But they can't even figure that shit out.
I don't know. It's
It's my own fault, because when I joined this company, I asked in the interview, I said, how good is your project management team? And the architect who was like, there was an architect on the call, network architect, and he just he was on screen. We were sharing each other, we're on cam, and he just started shaking his head. And I should have read the fucking tea leaves.
Give
and
the
not
double thumbs down and slip back
So,
thing.
I was warned.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyone know about ITSM, right? And ITIL is one of those. How many organizations do you think do actual ITSM in any meaningful way?
No, they'll get certified in it, and the ITIL shit, but they don't follow it.
Yeah, I think most places I've been are either a level 0 or a level 1. In the roles of
It means as much as the Sigma 6 crap.
Oh,
Six Sigma,
jeez.
yeah.
At least I'm not being asked to become like a black belt or whatever I hate that shit.
I got a green belt because I put a piece of tape under a stapler and said the stapler goes there.
Isn't the green belt the highest? Because it's green,
I thought it was
it's
black.
money.
I thought it was black. Maybe it is green. I don't know.
I don't know. I've been getting emails about yellow belt Six Sigma shit.
There's purple belts too. I thought that was kind of high up there. I want a plaid belt. Or paisley.
I thought green was the highest because that's the color of money. So it's retarded.
No, I thought it was black because it's like karate, and also because it's the devil.
Oh man, I don't know.
The hell's that?
That was the horn. All right, let's see here. Let's take a look. Because I have rarely seen a company that was anything good in the maturity level of ITSM. Let's see if I can find the information, because I have a book on it, and I was reading it, and I was just thinking, this is hilarious. So level 1, I think there is actually a level 0, but which is basically you really just got jack shit going on. Level 1, initial ad hoc. At this stage, IT processes are often informal, inconsistent, reactive. There's little or no documentation, and reliance is heavily on individual expertise. Problems are typically addressed on a case-by-case basis, and there's limited visibility into IT performance. This level is characterized by firefighting and a lack of proactive management.
I've never seen anything that demonstrates any of those.
Now, the next level is level 2, managed and repeatable. This level sees the introduction of basic processes and procedures. Some documentation is developed, and there is an attempt to standardize certain tasks. While processes are still not fully integrated, there is a greater focus on planning and control. Key performance indicators may be identified, but they are not consistently measured or used for decision making. So I feel like there needs to be a 1.5. What if you have processes that no one ever follows or updates? Are you back to level 1? Because that's where I feel like I'm at. That's where I feel I'm at. And it's very annoying. It's very annoying. So.
And I see that Six Sigma does go beyond green belt. There's a black belt, a master black belt, and a champion level.
So have you been at a place that tried to get you actually to be certified in some Six Sigma crap?
No, they've never really asked me to do it.
But it's available.
I know I worked at a company that was doing a lot of Six Sigma, but I think you had to be invited to that, and IT people typically weren't invited.
No, I think you could if you presented an initiative, you could get in on it.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to get
I
us
have
to
never
do
seen anything beyond a green belt, so that's why this is surprising me.
Oh, I know black belts.
Where's purple belt lie?
There's no purple belt. There is a white belt, yellow belt, green belt, black belt, master black belt, and champion.
Ooh, you're a champion.
Is the champion one like a WrestleMania belt, like the
giant plastic thing?
Like the late Hulk Hogan, God rest his soul, would have wore.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Oh yeah, Ozzy passed away. Forgot about that. Wait, did he die on SysAdmin Day or was that Thursday?
Thursday.
No, it was the day before. I think
National Tequila Day.
I don't think either of them died on, because Friday was SysAdmin Day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last Friday of July.
No, Ozzy died Wednesday, I think. And
Wednesday.
Hulk Hogan died
Thursday.
Or maybe Ozzy died Tuesday, but Hulk Hogan was Thursday.
No, Theo was Tuesday, wasn't it? Or was that Monday?
Oh, Monday or Tuesday, yeah. Ozzy.
From the Cosmo Show.
Or Wednesday.
Theo from the Cosby Show.
Maybe Ozzy was Wednesday. I don't remember.
Malcolm Jamal Warner.
That's it.
Yeah, it was a bad week.
Yeah, they died in threes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really weird.
For Felix Baumgartner died too? Is that his name?
Who's next? Dennis Rodman?
Oh.
He was an Australian skydiver, very well renowned.
He's the one that dived from outer space, the edge of space. He took a balloon up, and then he's the one that dived from there, right? And then he died into missing a swimming pool or something. Is that what happened?
No.
He died on July 17th.
But wasn't that nothing to do with skydiving?
Yeah.
He was in a paragliding accident along the Adriatic coast in Italy.
He missed whatever he was aiming for. What I heard. That's
The
what
ground?
I heard. No.
Sorry.
Yeah,
No,
it says that it was very windy.
That would suck. That would really blow to
His
have it.
death was confirmed by Red Bull,
What?
the energy drink company.
Wow.
He died. Yeah, he died in a paragliding accident along the Adriatic coast. Crashed to the ground a few yards from a swimming pool in the town of Porto Sant'Elpidio. The mayor said on Friday. So,
This death was brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of death.
they said they were going to perform an autopsy, but I don't know.
But why bother? Because he smashed into a rock.
They said that he'd become ill during his flight and lost consciousness by the time of impact. No. So
He might have lived if he.
Yeah, he might
That's
have.
weird. What happened? The
I
Red
don't
Bull
know.
got him.
He didn't have a Red Bull. That was the problem.
Maybe they poisoned him. It's all a conspiracy, man. Everyone. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't look into the story. I just heard that. So he passed out. So he probably would have lived. He wouldn't. He was a professional.
Yeah, it makes it sound like he lost consciousness on the way down, but I don't know if they had radio to him during the free fall or his paragliding, but obviously he missed the mark. So
Yeah.
I think that's why they're doing the autopsy.
Yeah. Well, this week feels like.
Yeah, this week sucks. It sucks.
We lost some good ones.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
Yeah.
I mean, Ozzy, that one hit hard.
I thought that guy was invincible like Keith Richards, but now that really brings to light the reality of mortality.
I was reading up on the Iomi was saying that they all had substance issues. Ozzy had the worst substance abuse issues. However, whenever they would party, he was always the last one standing, even though he was the worst out of all.
Well, they just finished that whole Black Sabbath tour, but those guys would get nuts. They almost killed their drummer. Was it Bill Ward who was their drummer? Yeah. They almost killed him because they got all wasted one day, and he passed out, and they spray painted him with gold spray paint, And he almost went septic because he couldn't sweat out the alcohol. He was all sealed in, and
that's
the dude almost died. Like,
Jeez.
wow.
So they're
pass
all
out around Black Sabbath.
Most of them are on borrowed time. Although some of them are doing great things, like Geezer Butler was able to advocate and get it banned in the state of New York. You cannot get your cats to Claude.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Geezer
Butler made that happen.
It's always the bass player.
Helped it out.
It's always the bass player. Didn't Geezer... Didn't he not want to kick out Ozzy, or was that Bill Ward? He said that he was against it. I think it was the drummer. It was a drummer, I think. But whatever. Ozzy was able to... He had, like, how many decades of success and, like,
Yeah, and obviously, like, he was successful after Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
And, like, I'll admit, like, I like Black Sabbath when Dio was in the band.
Yeah, they all are good.
They had some really great tunes. Like, I thought that was a great replacement.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but Ozzy, what's funny about Ozzy is he would talk about, I saw this one interview where everyone comes up to him and they're like, oh yeah, Sabbath in Volume 4. They always bring up Volume 4, and he'd be like, let's talk about something nada, and that was how many years ago? He didn't really live in the past. He was always moving forward. That's why he reinvented himself so many times. But yeah, he had 80s hits, 90s hits, and then he even had, like, even within recent years, right? He made, like, several recent albums that were pretty decent from what the songs I heard. I should probably get the whole album and listen to it all, but he was doing stuff, like, actively. So he didn't like to sit still.
I'm trying to remember, but I saw a TikTok video the other day after he died. But it was him and Kelly, their daughter, and Sharon on a podcast, and Sharon was going off about how women didn't have the right to do something. I forgot what it was, but until like 1975. And then Kelly's, what? And like the podcast host is like, what? She's like, yeah, 1975. And then Ozzy's like, that was a good law. So basically saying, like, it's good that women weren't allowed to do that. It was...
Oh, to be somebody with like Ozzy, who just say whatever you want.
Nobody
will argue with you.
What did Sharon say?
I don't know. They cut it off at that, but it was a funny video.
She probably clawed his eyes out.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, if you've got IT stories, you definitely want to send them to us. But for the non-IT listeners out there, what can we tell all the people that don't know what all of this stuff is about and what all of the hardworking sysadmins have to do day in, day out for them? What can we let all the laymen know? Like, the world that they don't know.
All the tech you use that works every day, just fine. There's somebody behind it. You don't care about if there's a problem. Then you're looking for somebody to hang.
Correct. The needful, doing the needful.
Like, I work in telecom, and nobody ever comes up to me and says, hey, man, the phone's working great today. Awesome. Was able to make outbound, inbound calls. Great. No, dropped audio. Awesome. Good job. I've never heard that. Nor do I expect to ever. But.
Never once.
We don't need the accolades. We work in the shadows, people.
Yep. We're behind the curtain, like in the Wizard of Oz.
Email all the things you hate about IT. We don't give a fuck.
The good old days.
We're the heroes in the dark.
That's true. That is true, and people are. It's just like the power system. It's just like plumbing. No one knows how the water and sewer works, right? Until it doesn't work, and then they don't like it. So yeah, the modern society has been built up on layers upon layers of these different technologies, whether it's the physical side, utilities, or the digital side, which is what we do. And everyone now relies on it, but they don't see it, they don't miss it until it's broke. And unfortunately, cost cuttings and all the other weird stuff that's going on in the economy is actually it's been taking a dump for a while, but it all plays into the layoffs, the removals of middle managers, which causes more stress on frontline workers because they have to do management tasks. So maybe you're not.
I don't want to. I go out of my way to avoid it.
But yeah, but otherwise, that's what's happening.
So for now, just rest easy and know that the folks with Packets and Bolts and their kin are supporting your IT infrastructure, but know that in the near future, some Indian is going to be breaking shit. And when it does, you know who to blame.
This podcast is brought to you by all the IT people behind the scene. that brought this to you that you don't care about until it's broken, and then you hate them.
All right. Well, we got the chimes going on, but it is Saturday, July 26th, 2025. Packets and bolts. Email the show, packetsandbolts@gmail.com, packetsandbolts@gmail.com. Remember to keep packing those bolts. Until next time.
And email us now for a free AOL 500-hour CD.
Until next time, see ya.
Real goat.